Hello, my name is Dick Papaleo, President of AirCare. I'd like to welcome you all to our training session dealing with the cleaning of air conditioning and heating systems, particularly using your truck mount carpet cleaning unit as the primary vacuum system connected to our TruckMaster. We feel that this is a wonderful add-on service to the carpet cleaning industry, and a number of people are already using our products in the field as we speak. We've been in this business for over 30 years as a service company and as a manufacturer, so we have an extraordinary understanding of the indoor air quality subject. We feel we've developed a wonderful tool that's very inexpensive to add on to your existing product line and add another revenue of income for you folks that are doing carpet cleaning. Today, we're going to have two staff members participating in the presentation, Mary Deziak and Wayne Tracy. Both have been with our company for a long time and are very, very knowledgeable about this subject in terms of how to market it, how to do the process, and generally run the business. So sit back and enjoy it. Write down any of the questions you may have, and please be sure to contact us if you have need for more knowledge. And thank you very much.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about the method of cleaning called contact cleaning. Contact cleaning is basically where you're disturbing the debris and collecting it at the same point. We use our TruckMaster that you see here along with your truck-mounted carpet cleaning equipment. Let me explain the TruckMaster a little bit. The control box is simple. It's your power, it's your forward and reverse for your brush, it has a remote control. The switches you see here in the front can either go, you can go manual or you can use the remote control. The remote control powers on and off of the brush, and it also does forward and reverse. Wayne will get into the actual procedures of cleaning, but this is all the equipment that you need. One other item that you need is the dust downer. The dust downer is put in between your truck mount hose and your TruckMaster hose. The reason for this is you definitely want to wet down the debris with a solution hose before it hits your truck-mounted carpet cleaner. You just don't want any dry debris going into your vacuum. Basically, that is all the equipment you need, other than a fogger, the chemicals, and Wayne will get into the procedures that you use with that. We have been using contact cleaning for a number of years. AirCare prides itself in the quality of job that you can do with this equipment, and it really is a low investment for you just to have the TruckMaster. And what we're trying to do here today is just give you training on how simple it is to do a job. I've talked enough here. I'll let Wayne take over and actually take you through the steps of cleaning with the TruckMaster unit. Wayne?
Thank you, Mary. Let's go through the 4 steps of cleaning now. The 4 steps briefly. Number 1 is we've got to get the air handler or the furnace cleaned up real good. We have to get all the supply registers and grills cleaned, clean all the supply and return ducting, and then install an electrostatic filter or any other odor control products or optional accessories you may have sold your customer. Let's start in detail with cleaning the air handler or the furnace. Here on the west coast, southeast part of the country, we're going to have air handlers with evaporator coils for air conditioning and a heat exchanger of some type also. Back east or in colder climates, you may not have air conditioning, but you may have a hot air furnace. Regardless, we got to get that system as cleaned as possible. First step is to test the unit. You don't want to be blamed for the failure of a system that wasn't working when you got there. So make sure you go to the thermostat. Turn the switch to AC, make sure you feel cold air. Turn the switch to heat and make sure you feel warm air. After being sure everything works, we're going to go find the furnace or the air handler. West coast, southwest part of the country, you'll probably find these up in the attics, in the garage, maybe a closet inside the home somewhere. Back east, Midwest part of the country where you have basements, these units are usually going to be installed in the basement, and it may be a simple furnace or an air handler which incorporates both air conditioning and heating. First step, let's shut the power off to the unit. Don't just turn the switch at the thermostat. Make sure you kill the switch right next to the air handler. We don't want to have our hands inside that unit and a child come home from school and turn it on while we're trying to work on it. So again, kill the power to the unit completely. Remove the panels, and first thing we're going to look for is a blower, and make sure we get the blower and the cavity the blower's mounted in nice and clean. Next thing we need to find, if the system does have air conditioning, we're going to look for the evaporator coil. This coil in a attic unit, a garage unit, is probably going to be towards the top of the unit, and it may have a removable panel for real easy access, or you may have to cut an access panel. Cutting a panel is very simple. Just use some type of sheet metal cutting tool, find where the coil is, and cut a 10-inch opening to reach in and get the coil clean. To clean the coil, first thing we want to do is vacuum the surface of the coil. After doing that, you're going to need some type of chemical cleaner usually to get the debris removed. Our product, Coil Bright 2, works real well at getting this unit cleaned. What I'd recommend you do is go to a Home Depot type store, Lowe's, whatever, and get the little gallon and a half pesticide jugs that we'd use in our gardens around our backyards, and put the diluted Coil Bright into that product, and get a second one to have water so you have something to rinse the cleaner off.
Wayne, can I just interrupt you
Sure.
briefly? When you said that vacuum the coil, vacuum the inside chamber of the air handler, they're not going to be using their Truckmaster hose for that. What do you suggest? A backpack or a shop vac of some sort?
Right. The backpack works great for this, especially residential. Very portable, easy to bring with you, and comes with all the attachments you'd need to clean the coil with. What works real good is a backpack with an upholstery brush on it. Now, you will want to have a wet and dry vac, a shop vac. You don't need a great big 10-gallon vacuum, just a little mini portable wet vac. You can get 1.5 gallon, 2-gallon ones, because a pan where the condensate or water drips off the coil gets real dirty, and that needs to be cleaned out. And there'll usually be some liquid in there and some kind of cruddy buildup in that pan, so you need a wet and dry vac to clean that part of it.
They wouldn't be able to use the backpack for that?
No, absolutely not. The backpack is not designed for wet vacuuming. That is dry vac only. Okay. But we need that upholstery brush, and the backpack has that option with it.
Okay, thank you.
So after we've thoroughly cleaned the surface of the coil, be real careful, by the way, when you're vacuuming the surface of the coil. The fins on the coil are much like the radiator of a car, and if you put too much pressure on them and bend them, you'll affect the efficiency of the unit. So we want to very lightly vacuum that off, and let's let the chemical do the main cleanup of that evaporator coil. Just quickly, for the air handler, especially in the coil area, you'll want to use your fogger with an Envirocon to fog the surface of the coil, and also pour a little bit of Envirocon right into the drip pan itself. That'll help freshen it and kill any mold or other growth you may find or have in the pan. Be very careful fogging around the air handler. We don't want to turn the fogger on and get any of the electronic components wet, of course, on the system. So, to repeat real quickly on the air handler, we want to get the blower cleaned up, the blower cavity. We want to get the evaporator coil, the evaporator drip pan cleaned up. After we've cleaned these two major areas, let's take just a minute and wipe down the cabinet of the unit. One thing with air duct cleaning, unlike carpet cleaning, the homeowner doesn't get to see the result of the cleaning process. So every step we take, we have to show clean. So just take a few minutes. Our Dynamite all-purpose cleaner works real well at spray the cabinet down with, and get that wiped up so that looks nice and clean for the customer as well. After we've done that, we put the doors back on. We seal up any holes we may have cut in the sheet metal if it was required. Usually you will have an access. and close the unit up. It's now time to go back into the home, either go upstairs, out of the attic, and let's start prepping for doing our duct cleaning. As I said earlier, step 2 is remove the grills and registers and get them cleaned up. So we want to make sure we have some drop cloths in our truck. We don't want to just be walking into a home, taking ceiling grills down and having dust and debris falling on the carpets or floors. What we use and what works real well for drop cloths are bed sheets. Don't get full size or king size, get the small twin size. You can get them from a laundry service, have them launder them for you, or just go to a discount house, even a Salvation Army, and buy some twin-size bed sheets and use those as drop cloths. They're very light and fluffy, and when you drop it over a table, a lamp, or a piece of furniture, you're not going to scuff or scar anything up. Other options might be plastic drop cloths like painters would use. I wouldn't recommend big bulky things because you're going to be throwing this over furniture and delicate parts of a home. So the bed sheet is best, but the plastic drop cloth could be an option. So in this process, we're going to set a drop cloth down in any area that there's a vent. We're not going to cover the whole room, just any piece of furniture in direct vicinity of the vent. For those of you with floor vents, it's a lot easier. Just put a drop cloth next to the grill where you're going to be kneeling to perform your service. If you're working with ceiling grills, you need to protect the furniture as well as the floor itself. But again, only anything in direct vicinity of the vent itself. Okay, once we've protected all the property, we now want to get our stepladder if we're working with ceiling grills. I'd recommend a cordless drill and have a Phillips, a slotted bit, a 1/4 inch and a 5/16 inch bit in your pocket. We never know how these things are going to be mounted. You might even want to put a utility knife in your pocket. Sometimes these grills have been painted over and you may have to lightly score around the grill before you take the screw out. So we climb the ladder, we go up, remove the screws holding the grill in place, and bring the grill down. All the grills may look alike. There may be a lot of similar ones, plus orientation of the grill is real important when we put it back up. So we take our Sharpie marker, and for example, if it's a kitchen grill, you might write K1 on it, which simply means kitchen 1, and write that on the inside of the grill, not the outside, and write it also on the pan up in the ceiling. Make sure the marks correspond on each side so you know how to position the grill when it comes back up, and you'll know which grill goes where, of course. After removing it, set it on the drop cloth and go into the next room and continue throughout the house removing all the grills and registers. After you've removed the grill from the floor or the ceiling, we have to pre-vac the opening. We're going to use our backpack, an upholstery brush, and maybe an extension pole if necessary at this point. Again, after removing the grill, we very simply reach into the ceiling pan or the floor pan, whichever the case may be, and vacuum the pan and the first foot or so of duct. We don't want to insert the tool into dust immediately at the open because there's a little risk of it blowing into the home. So let's vacuum the pan out in the first foot or so of the duct, and that's it. After they've all been removed, you need to gather them. You might want to keep a large, like a Rubbermaid tub in your truck. Trying to carry 8 or 10 or 12 grills out to the front yard to clean them can be a little cumbersome, but this makes it a lot easier having something to stack them in. We take them outside, weather permitting, of course, and using our Dynamite cleaner, you're going to clean each grill thoroughly, inside and the front side and back side of the grill, and leave it out there to dry. Now, if we've got a stormy day or weather doesn't permit you to go outside, and if the customer happens to have a laundry sink or some type of wash tub you can use, that's great. But please, don't try to wash your grills at our kitchen sink or in the bathtub or the bathroom sink. Too much risk of causing damage in the home. If that doesn't work, another good option, remember the big tub we talked about? Just hold the grill over the tub, take your backpack vacuum cleaner, and use your upholstery brush, vacuum all the dust off, have some clean rags with you, spray some Dynamite on the grill or the rag, and hand wipe each grill individually. Might take a little longer, but again, if weather doesn't permit, not much you can do there. So we do this with all the supply and return grills, and we're now ready for step 3. Step 3 is cleaning all the supply and return ducting. At this point, if you haven't done so already, you're going to connect AirCare's TruckMaster equipment to the vacuum hose of your carpet cleaning equipment. In between our hose, the TruckMaster hose, and your vacuum cleaning equipment, we have another product called a dust downer, and that's included with your equipment. It's real important that we don't send dry dirt or dust back to your truck mount vacuum equipment, because as you know, that could potentially cause damage to it. We include the dust downer. This small connection piece has an inlet for you to connect the water hose from your truck, and then you use this to connect our 1.5-inch hose to your 2-inch truck mounted hose. Now, when we start removing debris from the ductwork, the water from your truck is going to spray that debris, so we're not sending dry dust back to your truck mounted equipment. So we make this connection, and we're now ready to start cleaning the air ducts, which was the purpose of our mission, of course. We've already removed the grills. We go to the first room. We have our brush and hose attachment, which Mary explained to you earlier. And don't forget to put the remote on your belt. That has a clip on it for convenience. Make sure that the TruckMaster control box is within sight line of your ladder.
They also have to make sure that the switches, the toggle switches, are in the remote position, correct, Wayne?
That is correct, thanks.
Okay.
So we grab our hose and brush assembly, we climb the ladder if we're working with a ceiling vent, of course, floor vent, down on your hands and knees. We're going to slowly insert this whole brush and hose assembly into the duct. First thing we want to do is get it inserted into the duct just so it's beyond your sight, because we don't want the brush to start spinning and blowing dust back into the home, of course. So we insert the brush, and then using our remote, we turn the power on, and we at a very slow and steady pace push this brush and hose assembly into the duct. As you're inserting it, what's happening, the brush is spinning, and as the brush is spinning, we're removing debris from the walls of the duct, and the vacuum is collecting that debris. And again, that's why we call this a contact cleaning system.
And Wayne, if it is a heavily debris system, they do have to go slower in this process because they're trying to collect it all.
Yes, absolutely. Even with light debris, this isn't just a run and gun operation. We have to insert this at a slow, steadily moving pace. If you go too fast, you may knock debris off the wall of the duct, but the vacuum's not going to have time to collect it. And what's going to happen, we're going to make matters worse, because now the debris that was kind of pasted to the walls of the duct is falling into the airstream, and the minute that furnace or air conditioner comes on, we're going to start blowing that debris out. So a slow, steady, deliberate pace as we do this.
Great.
The real good thing of AirCare's TruckMaster cleaning equipment is effectively you're going to clean each duct twice, because we can operate this brush as we travel through the duct in a forward motion. We're going to fully insert it. When we get to a point we can't push it anymore, that doesn't necessarily you've made it all the way into the system. You may be in a corner or a little sag in the ductwork. So if you hit a point and it won't go further, just stop, pull it backwards a foot or two, and try one more time to push it further. If it won't go any further, then chances are you've now made it through that whole duct run as completely as you can. So, coming backwards, once we determine we have inserted it deep enough into the duct, we're going to very simply hit the reverse button. We don't have to stop the motor. You can reverse on the fly. Hit the reverse button, and just as we made a slow, deliberate entry into the duct, we're now going to pull it back out in the same motion. So again, we're cleaning the duct twice. By the way, one little hint. Moving the hose through the duct, you feel, geez, it stopped, and I don't think I've gone through the whole duct. Sometimes just reversing the brush as you're moving doing a reverse and a forward, pausing a second or two in between, will give the brush a little more forward motion and help you get around a corner that you may be stuck in. So again, use a forward and reverse motion to help you through. To recap that, real important, slow, deliberate motion, running the hose and brush through the duct, and make sure whatever debris you remove from the walls of the duct gets collected by that slow, steady motion. We're going to do this at the first duct, the second duct, and so on, all through the house until we've completely cleaned every duct in the home. That'll take care of the supply and return duct cleaning, except in, again, West Coast, Southwest part of the country, we do have little different systems. Instead of having multiple returns, we'll have a large single return. And this return may have a duct in it that's as wide as 18 inches, 20 inches in diameter, and it's quite obvious a 12-inch brush isn't going to quite clean that. This is another reason you really need our backpack vacuum cleaner, is to reach up into that return duct, and you may have to hand clean that versus machine clean it with the Truckmaster. If you can't reach all the way, then when you look in the air handler up in the attic or wherever it may be, you can usually reach into the return and vacuum the rest of that duct run. Now, we've completed cleaning all of the ductwork. It's now time to fog the required chemicals into the duct system. There are 3 chemicals that we recommend be used on every job, and these can all be fogged into the system using an AirCare fogger.
Let me interrupt you briefly, Wayne.
Sure.
Again. You use the word chemicals. Just so that you know out there, using the word chemical with a homeowner could be a no-no. You may want to use the word cleaning solutions instead of the word chemical. We have to use the word chemical so you know what we're talking about here today. But you may want to use the word solutions, and there's 3 of them. Correct, Wayne?
That is correct, Mary. And good piece of advice. Yes, we all know they're a chemical, but we don't want to scare anyone. Cleaning solution's a perfect term. The first cleaning solution that I'd recommend is our product called Envirocon. This has a nice minty fragrance. It's not a real harsh chemical smell by any means, and it is designed to be used as an air freshener to get rid of the odors caused by molds, mildews, and other bacterial growth inside a ductwork. Not that every ductwork is going to have that growth, but this is a precautionary product. Next product, and this one I strongly encourage on every job you do, is our product called Soot Set. This is an odor-free, water-soluble, pretty neutral chemical, and what it's designed to do is be fogged into the system, and as it travels through the system, it coats the duct with a clear surface that will lock down any debris left behind in the cleaning process, so there's no danger of that debris becoming airborne and causing problems after the cleaning job is done.
And this is not for bulky debris, though. This is for fine particles that get caught in the nooks and crannies of the system that you couldn't get out with the cleaning process.
Right, meant to be used as an aid to the cleaning process, not as a cleaning process.
Correct, great.
Make sure this is used just to as a finishing touch to the job. Last product is our Ultra Odor Kill. This product has a lemon ivory fragrance, for lack of a better description, ivory soap with a touch of lemon. A nice clean smell. It doesn't linger for a long while, but it gives the homeowner a fresh smell after the cleaning, just to add an extra touch to the job, and will help to hide some of the nasty cooking odors and other smells that get into a duct system. So again, 3 chemicals we want to put into the system. Remember, chemicals is a bad word. Cleaning solutions. Envirocon, Soot Set, and Ultra Odor Kill, and these can all be applied using the AirCare fogger. Okay, after we've completed that, we've now completed the full duct cleaning process. We can now restore the home to the condition it was in when we arrived. Let's go to each room, reinstall the grills. Again, remember, we mark the grill, so it's going to be real easy to know where each one goes after we gather them out of the front yard. Make sure that, again, when you've marked it, you've marked the pan accordingly so you know how to reinstall it properly. Get all the grills up. Let's gather all our drop cloths, our sheets, whatever you use to protect the homeowner's home. And again, another reason to use our backpack. Let's strap that on our backs. And I guess if I could give one piece of advice that all of our service people follow, the home has to look as good or even better when we leave than it did when we arrived. So let's put our backpack on and touch vacuum any area that we walked in or worked in and make sure that home looks perfectly clean for the homeowner. After completing this, we bring all our equipment out to the truck, load it up, get ready for the next job.
And the most important part of the job is collecting the money from your customer. Now, before we even started this process, the service order is your contract with the customer. That should have been signed before you started this job, because now that you've taken all the debris out, if you do not have Mrs. Smith agreeing with the price that you have on your service order, guess what? You don't have a contract with that customer. You're out of luck, and we can't usually blow the dirt back in. So this is the fun part. You've shown her the contract. You say you're all completed. You've gotten all your tools up. Make sure you don't forget your drill or your ladder. And then you tell Mrs. Smith, okay, I'm all done, and you collect your money. That's the fun part of duct cleaning.
Hi, this is Dick Papaleo. You've just got through viewing the procedures for cleaning air duct systems using your carpet cleaning truck mount units. And of course, there's a lot more detail to that process, and we're going to share that with you as needed if you desire to get involved. But one of the things I tell everybody when we do our live training classes, and I meet with the people in the training room, I always say that, most people are going to learn the technical part of any business pretty quickly. I mean, if you do a job or two, whether it's carpet cleaning or air duct cleaning or whatever it may be, after 4 or 5 jobs, you got it down and you pretty much know what to do and what to expect. And the unfortunate part about small business, and that's what we're all in, we're included in that, is the weakness of most operators' ability to market themselves and find new customers and develop a growth pattern in their business. And that all translates to marketing. We can make you the best duct cleaner on the universe, but what good is all of that knowledge if you don't have a customer to actually offer the service to? And of course, the bottom line is, that's how you make your profit. So what we're going to do in the next phase of this webinar is discuss the marketing aspects of this business and in general marketing. Extremely, extremely important. Like in a business where you had a restaurant or a retail location, the word location is everything. Well, in every business, marketing, and sales is everything. Without that, you're not going to make it work. So we want to share as much of that information with you as we possibly can, and hopefully give you some good pointers on how to bring this about. Mary Dziak has spent literally years and years in our marketing activities, and she's very knowledgeable and has acquired a lot of information to share with you. So I'm going to turn this over to Mary Dziak, and hopefully you'll take notes and keep track of what is really, really important. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. We're going to go through the marketing and sales of your air duct cleaning business. This is the fun part. I'm going to take you through the different avenues of advertising. What is out there? What can you use? What ads do you use? I'm going to go through the pricing of air duct cleaning. How does that relate to your market? You're going to have to take it that would I price a market? I'm pricing it here for our valley, and it could be different for your market. So you're going to have to pay attention to what your competitors are doing. You should always, always look at what your competitors are doing before you place an ad. You want to be different. You don't want to fall into the bait and switch category. And I'm going to hopefully give you some sample ads of how to do that without falling into that category. We're going to hopefully give you buzzwords to use. Buzzwords are free, giving them a percentage off, the kind of things that we will go through today. So let's get started. What kind of a market is there for air duct cleaning? What are your demographics? Very, very important question. Know that everyone that has a forced air system, whether it be heat or air conditioning, is your market. That's every home pretty much throughout the United States. It's every commercial building. You want to advertise to them. Are you going to advertise to the residential market or to the commercial market? Do you want to do the commercial cleaning? You will set your ads specifically for those markets. If you're doing it all, then of course you don't want to eliminate one or the other through advertising. So I will go through some of the keywords that you should use in your advertising. Make sure that you know what your competitors are doing out there. Bait and switch advertising, whole house for $69, is one of the key ads that are out there in the air duct cleaning field. Don't fall into the trap. You can get work by advertising the right way, and believe me, you're going to get in front of that customer. Once you're in front of the customer, you can tell them that you're the best duct cleaner, and we're going to help you do that. What are the different avenues of advertising? You've got newspaper, you've got television, you've got radio, you've got yellow pages. And really the most important today is the internet. Everyone is going to the internet through Google, Yahoo, all the search engines, looking for a service that they may want or need. These other avenues of advertising are very important also. But know that right now, internet is probably the biggest advertiser. I'm going to first hit on the newspaper. And like I said before, your customers like the word free. They want something for free. Well, you should too. There is a free source of advertising out there that a lot of people don't utilize. That source is a press release. You are adding a new service to your business. If you're a carpet cleaner or an HVAC contractor or a restoration company, if you're adding air duct cleaning at this point, you're adding a service of indoor air quality for your customer. Announce it. Send a press release, and you have a sample of it in the disc that you received from us on how to word it. But you have to make it an announcement. It cannot be an advertorial. It cannot be an ad, a pitch, a sales pitch of any kind. You have to make it as an announcement. But because you're giving such an important service to your customers, editors will run it. So if you write up using your company name and phone number and send it to the editor of your local newspaper, you can't determine when it goes in or where it goes in the newspaper. But if there's a slow news day, they will use it. Don't send it once. Send it a couple times if you don't see it run. If you have a relationship with your sales rep at the newspaper, you can send it to him and ask him, who do you send it to? Or should you send it to someone else other than him? But they will run it. You're more apt to get it in if you are advertising with that source. But again, it is an announcement. Make sure that your company name, your phone number is in there, and you describe indoor air quality in specifics of what you're doing for your community. Newspaper is there's many, many sections of the newspaper. Where do I go? Where do I want to be? That's an important question. Main newspapers, let's say in the Chicago area or New York area, of course, can be very, very costly. So pick a section that is relevant to service business. Could be the real estate section. It could be your local new neighborhood paper. It doesn't have to be the main newspaper, Chicago Tribune. You have neighborhoods that you want to target. Target those. Go into the local newspaper for that particular neighborhood. The cost is lower, and it's hitting the market that you want to hit. One of the most important things when you're looking at advertising is the demographics of advertising. Who are your customer? Who do you want to target? You know the areas in your own city where you want to target. Target that area specifically. Your cost of advertising will be lower. We have the Las Vegas Review-Journal here in Las Vegas. It's the main newspaper. It's the only newspaper here in Las Vegas. It's very, very costly for us to go in if we even want to run a small ad 3 times a week. But they also have the neighborhood paper. We can go into a neighborhood paper that is usually done once a week for a lot less cost and get a lot more bang for our dollar by going in there because we're hitting specifically the zip codes we want to hit. I mentioned the word demographics. What are the demographics for duct cleaning? Who are your customers? Well, to pinpoint it, it's typically homeowners, average household income over $50,000, and it's typically in an age group of over 40, so an established family. In today's world, it's hard to talk about disposable income. But if you have someone making $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a year trying to raise a family, they're not going to have the disposable income for your air duct cleaning service. So why target that market? You want to target the right people to get success from your advertising. So, getting back to the newspaper, if you go into the real estate or classified section of your neighborhood paper in a zip code that you want to hit, you'll see that the cost is pretty reasonable. And you'll hit the people that you want to hit. There is also a section right before the classifieds in the main newspaper called the services section. This is not a place for a display ad. It's for a bolded line ad. We've had duct cleaners in the past that say that's the only place that they advertise is in the services section of the newspaper. Why is that important? When people need a handyman, where do they go? They go pretty much to that section because that's who advertises there. You'll see plumbers there. You'll see HVAC technicians there. It's a very reasonably cost ad because all you're doing is a bolded line ad with your name and phone number. You can say air duct cleaning services. You don't have to, have a big display that describes everything that your company does. You want to make sure that people see your name. So the services section is a very, very good place to go. The real estate section today, there are so many homes on the market. You can target the real estate section. That's a very good place. I could go on and on about where to place your ad. But just know that you just don't have to go and place an ad in the main newspaper 3 times a week to get any action on your ad. Think about where you want to go. Think about your ad size. You don't have to be big. We've never gone with a really big ad. As long as your name and your phone number and your service is described, you've got it made. We typically, as you will see in the ads that we give you as a sample, we've always gone with a smaller ad and either gave them a free electrostatic air filter. We can give them 20% off additional services like dryer duct cleaning. You can give them free dryer duct cleaning with a full service air duct cleaning job. You don't have to list a price. You don't have to bait and switch to get in the door. You can offer a free video inspection. You're going to see ads today that are very, very successful for us here in our local valley that you can use, simply saying free inspection. You don't have to give a price for whole house duct cleaning. You don't have to go per vent at $9.99. We don't use numbers in our ads. We use free. We use percentage off additional services, but we do always say complete air system cleaning. And I'm going to push that to you today. The people that are advertising $69 whole house duct cleaning, no, they're not doing it for $69, but they are getting in front of the customer. So your main objective with your advertising is get in front of the customer. The best way we have found to do that is free inspection. Do you even need air duct cleaning done, Mrs. Smith? If you do that, you'll get in front of the customer, and now you can tell them you're the best duct cleaner in town and why you are. Placement of an ad in a newspaper, they always say the lower right-hand side. Why is that? Because when people flip a page of the newspaper, where do their eyes go? It's just human nature to their eyes go to the right-hand corner. So if you want to go into the main newspaper, make sure that your placement is where it's going to be read. You will pay more for that placement. Remember that. But that is where the eyes go first. Okay, enough about the newspaper. Let's talk about another avenue. Radio. Now people say, oh, radio, too expensive. No, maybe you're on the wrong station. The demographics for radio, for air duct cleaning, is AM talk radio. That's where you want to be. That's where it has been successful. We have never been successful on any other station other than our local AM talk radio show here. Now, if you're in Chicago and you want to get on WGN, you're never going to do it at a reasonable cost. But most towns have small AM talk radio shows. Their bandwidth doesn't go very far, but you don't want to go very far. You want to hit the market that you want to hit. And it is very, very reasonably priced. And it works. Our average take on AM talk radio, when we did our advertising there, and we did it all the time, was we would do a half an hour show. We would have a discussion between the disc jockey and ourselves about indoor air quality one week. We would talk about electrostatic air filters. We would talk about why air duct cleaning is done. We would talk about what needs to be done. Why does air duct cleaning need to be done? Subject always changed. But for that half an hour show, and our local market here, it only went through to the valley, only cost us about $400 at the end. Our average sales from that show would be at 8 bookings. I would love to get in front of 8 customers for $400. Very, very low advertising cost per sale. Our best was 19 bookings off of one show. Now, the radio, a lot of markets don't carry that type of an infomercial type show. It was never a tape show, by the way. So you'd have to look at 30-second spots. 30-second spots on your local AM talk radio can be very reasonable, and it hits the right people. But who listens to the radio? People are in their cars, so you have to be at the right time. You have to be during drive times, during lunch, during the evening hours. Those are the times that people listen to these shows. They all have the national shows worked into the local area. Now, will you be able to get on at a reasonable cost during one of the main national programs? Probably not. But remember, the demographics are right of who listens to this station. So if you time your ads right, you can get the exposure that you want to get for your air duct cleaning service. Television advertising. Everyone says, oh my goodness, I can't afford that. That's what I hear. They don't have the money for advertising. But like Dick said, if you don't advertise, you don't get your name out there, you're not going to get a customer. I don't care if you're walking down the street carrying brochures and hanging them on doors. That is an advertising cost. So you got to keep that in mind. When I talk about television, know that you may not have the money today, but it is a good avenue for advertising, especially when you want to hit the specific market that you want to hit, and that's your hometown. So you want to get on the local news in the morning. You want to get on the evening news at 4 o'clock before the national news hits. Very good time. What has been so good about television advertising right now is that cable and satellite has made it very inexpensive for advertising. They actually have all the channels, 245 channels you can advertise on. What channels do you want to go on? Well, you definitely don't want to go on during a repeat of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It doesn't work. The demographic isn't right. These stations will help you determine what is best for you, what is best for your market. If you ask them what the demographics are of the different channels, they'll be able to tell you specifically who watches them. That is a very important question to ask. They will help you actually produce the commercial for you if you sign a contract. That is through your cable company will help you. If you have local stations like NBC or ABC, they will help you. Your local television station will help you produce that commercial. So you can get it if you have the budget. You can get it at a reasonable cost because of what's happening out there with cable television. What are the channels that you want to go on if you're going to go on to cable? Discovery, Lifetime. There's several Lifetime channels now. HGTV is a good one. Those are the kind of things you want to look at. So keep that in mind when you're looking at doing a television commercial. Okay, let's talk about the yellow pages. I say in my class when we have live training here in Las Vegas that I hate the yellow pages. I think the yellow pages was very expensive 15 years ago. We would run a small quarter-page ad, and it could be as much as $1,100 a month, and we would have to sign a year contract. That has changed also, and it's changed because of the Internet. I just found out a couple days ago, it was on the news, that San Francisco is actually eliminating the phone company from distributing the telephone book to every customer. Or to every home in San Francisco. They will only get it now if they request it. So how is that going to affect their advertisers? So you have to know what your community is doing with the yellow pages. You have to know what your competitors are doing in the yellow pages. I feel the demographics are still good. You have to be in the yellow pages. Now, do I want a bolded line ad like we did in the services section of the newspaper? Or do I want a display ad? Well, let's look at what your competitors are doing. You want to be different. If they're all in blue and white display ads, be different. Put red in your advertisement. Give an offer that isn't in another ad. You have to know what they're doing so that you can be different. When someone opens up a telephone book to air duct cleaning, you want to stand out. You have about 10 seconds to make an impression. You want to stand out and have your company name and your phone number. It's the most dominant part of the ad. Everyone thinks that if you're in advertising, the first words on your ad have to be air duct cleaning. Why? You're already in the air duct cleaning section of the yellow pages. Why do you have to? Why are the first 3 words air duct cleaning or air duct cleaning services? They know you're an air duct cleaner. You're in that section. So use that space to promote maybe your commercial special, or put your company name up there first. Put a special up there. You don't need a title to your ad. You're in that section. And that is probably one of the main problems with the Yellow Pages, is where do you go? Find out from your sales rep of the Yellow Pages, what sections do they have for air duct cleaning? It could be air duct cleaning. It could be duct cleaning. It could be air system cleaning. You have to know where they have different air duct cleaners. And you want to either go in all three. Now, it doesn't have to be a display ad, but you have to be listed in all the sections. So you have to know what your Yellow Pages is doing for there. The sales rep for Yellow Pages will help you with your budget and help you actually design your ad. Keep that in mind when you're sitting down with them on what the cost is going to be, what do you want to say, and they can help you design it. It really is a simple process. Today, because the Yellow Pages has been hit hard by the internet advertising, they will give you an option to go into both their online version and their printed version. Know if there's a cost for that. Is it free online if you're in the print, or vice versa? You just have to know what your community is doing or what your telephone company is doing with their Yellow Pages. I really believe that wherever you can get your name in print is good for your company. You want exposure in every turn. So the Yellow Pages is just one turn. Make your ad simple. Make sure that your name and your phone number is the most dominant part of your ad. Make sure it stands out, that it's different from your competitors. It is not a very competitive market, air duct cleaning. You'll maybe have a page of air duct cleaners in the Yellow Pages, whereas there could be 100 pages of carpet cleaners, could be 100 pages of HVAC contractors. So you have one page. You don't have, to worry about the 100 pages. So you don't have to go large, or, you make sure that you're going to stand out. You do want to stand out, but you don't have to do it based on size. So you can keep your costs down low for that. I show you sample ads of AirCare that we've done in the past. We've tried different versions. We've tried, of course, the 4-color. But I really feel that we've made mistakes over the years by making our ad too busy. You don't have to let your customers know everything that your company does. You have to make the phone ring. And what's the most important thing to do that? Your name and your phone number. So, of course, you want a smart ad. You want to tell them what you do. Just don't get where the ad is too busy. It just doesn't work. They don't want to read. They want to call. So keep that in mind when you're actually developing your ad also. I think that our latest ads, clean, bulleted items, using our logo, has made it very, very good for AirCare here, because we get calls off of it. And that's the most important thing. So you see all these samples here that I've given you, and you'll see what we've done in the past and what we've done now. And just keep that in mind when you're doing your advertising. Another avenue, and probably a very good, less expensive way of advertising, is direct mail. Direct mail, there's various ways to do it. You can do an individual piece that you have a mail house mail out for you. You have a marriage piece where it could be a home improvement type advertising special that just lists services for the home. Or it can be a prepackaged mailing such as Valpak. These are your different ways. What we have done over the years is, first of all, we have gone into the prepackaged coupon type mailings such as Valpak, and it has never really worked for us. I really do believe that the reason it hasn't worked for us is they won't limit the amount of advertisers in a particular industry for that blue envelope. I could open it up today and probably find 4 duct cleaners here in Las Vegas. You sure don't want to spend really good money to get to 1 million people, and that's what they'll tell. They can send it to 10,000 people for a very relatively low cost, but you're competing against 4 of your other competitors. I would rather spend a little less, go to less people, but hit the right market. The coupon mailings typically go to everyone in a market or in a zip code. That's apartments. It could be businesses. It could be homes. But it goes to everyone. There's no real target market. So you're hitting a lot more people, but a lot more people are just running right past your ad because it's not needed. So you may want to spend a little less and get to a little less people, but the right people. It could be more cost effective for you. We have had marriage pieces in the past where it was called the Nevada Silver. It was a 14-page circular or whatever they call it, circulation for homeowners. All advertisers had to have full-page ads. It was all 4-color, and they only allowed one industry in this book, 1 per industry. So it was 1 HVAC contractor, 1 carpet cleaner, 1 duct cleaner, 1 tile and grout guy. But it was very, very effective because their demographic hit homeowners and it hit an average household income over $50,000. So even though it went to less people, it worked very, very well for us. The other thing that's happening now with coupons is that your local newspapers will actually put a flyer in the newspaper for you. They'll actually stuff it for you. So do an ad, for air duct cleaning or free inspection, and have your newspaper cover it for you or put it into the newspaper. If a customer has to touch your ad to throw it away, I think that's a plus, because you may get somebody's attention that wasn't even thinking about air duct cleaning. If they have to touch it, you've succeeded in doing what you wanted to do, and that is to get the exposure. The newspaper now has a sticky pad note that they put on the front page. They have to rip it off to even be able to read the front page. So again, here they are. They're ripping it off and they're throwing it in the garbage. Okay, that's what happens with most advertisements. But you may get that percentage of people that say, hey, I didn't even think. I really do need air duct cleaning done. So keep that in mind. That's another way for coupons to work. We have always found that a large postcard that you see, I will give you a sample here, a large postcard that has a specific message going to a specific zip code or a targeted group works the best. And people say, oh, junk mail. Well, let me tell you, again, they have to touch it to throw it away. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but if they have to touch your ad in any way, that's good for you. We have found that offering a free video inspection or just a free inspection, say you don't want to do a video inspection, free inspection to see if they even need air duct cleaning done, is a very positive way to get customers to call you. And that's the whole idea. Get your advertising to make the phone ring. So you can get a sample of this from AirCare. It works. Use your company name. Use your local area. Again, there are mail houses that will help you design the postcard. There's online mail houses that will actually design the postcard, mail it out, and give you the results. They have made it very easy for direct mail pieces. It works. This was a very, very successful ad for us. We still use it today. So direct mail, just an individual piece that you mail out yourself. And when I say yourself, you have a mail house do it. They will have, they will get the special rate down. This is first class postage, though. I'm not talking about bulk rate or a little 6x9, 6x4 postcard. I'm talking a large one-piece postcard, professionally designed, 4-color, can really hit a market and be very successful for you. I'm going to have Buddy, who is our web marketing manager here at AirCare, talk a little bit about internet advertising. Internet advertising is very, very successful today. It consists of Google AdWords. It consists of having a website that's professionally designed or a professional look to it so that you get hits from people searching for air duct cleaning. And you don't have to you don't want to hit the world. You want to hit your specific market. So you tailor your programs, your ad programs that Buddy's going to talk about specifically to your area. So I'll hand it over to Buddy now and let him talk to you for a little bit.
Hi there, my name is Buddy Rigatti. I'm the web guy here at AirCare, and what I'm going to do is just go through with you several ways that you can market your website or your business on the internet. And I'm going to start with the free methods or opportunities that are out there first, and then I'll work my way up to the ones that may cost a few dollars. So let's get started. First off, you want to go to Google Places. Google Places is basically an online business directory. If you've ever searched for a business using a local search term like a zip code or a city such as Air Duct Cleaning Las Vegas, which is where AirCare is, or if you've searched for a pizza place and typed in your zip code on Google, you will discover that they list businesses right there on the front page when you perform your search. So what you want to do is you want to nab your Google Places page. First step to do that is to go to Google and then type in Google Places. And you'll see there on your screen how you can find your page. You can search for your company. It may already be there. If your company's been around for more than a year or two, it's probably already listed. And what you want to do is grab your listing or kind of, I guess, nab it. They have a different term. I forget what it is. But you want to take control of that listing so you can edit it, update it, and provide information for prospective customers out there. If you don't see your business listed on Google Places, there will be a link there you can see on your screen right now how you can create one from scratch, and it's very simple. I'm going to go through with you right now how to do that. You'll see on your screen some steps to do that, but basically you want to take your Google Places page and fill out as much content as you can on that page. They'll ask you for your company name, obviously your contact information. They'll ask you for pictures that you can upload onto your Google Places page. They will ask you for videos, and every single thing that they ask you for, you need to fill out. That is going to be the best thing for you so that you show up and you get noticed on Google. Pictures. Find pictures. Ask us for pictures if you don't have any. We'll give you pictures of our equipment, of dirty air ducts, anything that you need. And then also video. We have a couple videos we can give you. And also just get some slides, put together a PowerPoint, and you can export a PowerPoint as a movie, as a video. And if you don't know how to do that, just get a friend or a family member to help you. But you want to add at least 2 or 3 videos, as many pictures as you can. I think it allows 10 pictures. Bottom line, fill out as much information as you can. It's very important, not just your name and address, your phone number, and that's it, and expect to have results. If you're going to do it right. This is a free method. It only takes time, and it's like anything else. The more time you put into it, the more time you get out. Honestly, if you just take aside a couple hours on a weekday or a weekend evening, you can knock this out and a bunch of other things we're going to talk about as well. So take the time and fill out your entire profile on your Google Places page. That's the first thing. The second thing you want to do with your Google Places page is to get reviews. These are testimonials. You want to get your customers to fill out reviews for you on your Google Places page. And there's a couple ways you can do that. You can ask them, hey, I've done a good job for you. Please go to my Google Places page, put in a review. Now, you have to have a Google account to put in a review, so you can't add your own reviews to your Google Places page through your own Google account, okay? But here's a little secret, here's a tip for you. If you have legitimate testimonials, I'm not going to tell you to put on fake testimonials, although people do that. I'm not encouraging you to do that at all. What you can do is, if you have legitimate testimonials existing, or if you can get some from current customers or past customers, you can create a Google account on their behalf, and you can add in the testimonial, or a review as they call it. The thing about this is, if you add all of the content you can on your Places page, like we already talked about, and if you have several positive reviews on your Google Places page, you will begin to show up for local search results in your area. If you're in Phoenix and somebody types in Air Duct Cleaning Phoenix, and you've put in the work to fill out your Google Places profile, and you have several positive reviews, you will begin to show up. There's no secret formula to this. I mean, there is kind of a secret as to exactly why Google shows one business over the other, and it can be confusing as to why some businesses do show up at times. But from my experience with our local service department here in Las Vegas, which is what I manage, as far as the internet advertising goes, that is what put us on the front page of Google. On that map section. When you do a search, you'll see a map, and it lists 7 or 8 pages, or 7 or 8 companies. They all have pointers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the markers are on the map that tell you where those companies are. That's where you want to show up if you can, and it's free, and it does not take a lot of effort. Get reviews, get your profile filled out completely, and then just wait. It's just a waiting game. Obviously, if you have a website address, that's going to be part of your Google profile. You can put a link to your website on there, but you don't even need a website to do this. So if you haven't done this and you want to get more business, stop this tape and go do it right now. Go also to Yahoo Local and Bing Local. They have the same exact setup as Google does. Obviously, you're going to get 3 times more exposure with Google. Google has about a 70% market share in the U.S. on all searches, including local searches. But you want to hit up Yahoo Local and Bing Local as well, because that compromises almost all of the other 30% that Google doesn't have. So everything I just told you about Google Places page, also do the same. Go to Yahoo Local and Bing Local and do the same thing, and you'll have all of the local search for air duct cleaning in your area covered. That's free. And it's easy. It takes a little bit of time. Go do it now. The next thing, other free local directories that are out there, similar to Google, Bing, and Yahoo Local, and a lot of the content feeds from one to another. So if you do one profile, it may show up. The content you put on there may show up on other profiles as well. But go through each one of these if you have time, and set up these as well. It's a very similar process. Yelp.com, CitySearch.com. Merchant Circle is a popular one as well. YellowPages.com and YellowBook.com. Again, if you have time, go through each one of these. Claim your profile is what they call it. It's probably already listed if you've been around for a year or two. If not, you can create one just as easy. Claim your profile, fill it out, make sure the information is accurate, put in as much information as you can for each one of these sites, and you'll be good to go. DexKnows.com is a popular one, but as far as I know, they don't have a free version. You do have to pay. So if you're going to go through everything else, I would just avoid DexKnows for now. But go to Yelp and CitySearch specifically. Those are the big ones. Yellow Book, Yellow Pages, and Merchant Circle. You can see there on your screen as well. Do all of those, take a little bit of time, and fill out those profiles, and you'll see a nice return. Social networking is one of the things that's really popular right now. I'll be honest. I don't see a huge need to spend a lot of time on social networking when it comes to air duct cleaning. There's certain industries and niches and sectors that this social networking is a lot more geared for. Maybe techie stuff, or if you're selling beauty products or something like that. Air duct cleaning, again, you can find success. It just depends how much time you want to put into it. So I'll briefly touch on it now. Start with a Facebook page. Go to Facebook and type in Facebook pages or Google Facebook pages, and get yourself a Facebook page. Again, it's free. It's pretty simple to set up. It's pretty straightforward, and you can start posting content on your Facebook page. Twitter account, twitter.com. start a Twitter profile if you want to jump into social networking, and you can start tweeting. A Merchant Circle blog is the same, is a similar deal. It's kind of social networking on the more local level, which is obviously where you want to be spending your time. And you can start a blog on Merchant Circle. From my experience, Merchant Circle blogs are very popular on Google, and they rank really well. If you want to get your name out there, if you want people to find you on the internet, a Merchant Circle blog, which is free, is a good way to go. And then finally, a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is a business networking social media platform, and the reason I'm suggesting this is because you can link up with other like-minded indoor air quality specialists in your area who may want to refer you business. Obvious one is an HVAC company or HVAC company that gets a lot of requests for air duct cleaning, but they don't clean air ducts themselves. You want to connect with them on a local level so that they will refer that business to you. And you can do that with a LinkedIn profile and also Merchant Circle. Merchant Circle is an excellent way to connect with other small businesses in your area for potential referral relationships. You can automate all of this using hootsuite.com, H-O-O-T suite.com. And you can post content to Hootsuite, and it will push that content to all of your social networking profiles, including Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Merchant Circle is a separate deal. Basically, how do we get this? How do we work all this? You're not just going to create a Twitter account and tweet a few things, a Facebook page, post a couple things, and LinkedIn profile, connect with a few people, and expect the business to flood in. Social networking is all about giving value to your followers and creating a network of followers. The way you create a network is to add value. When you provide links to certain resources on the internet involving indoor air quality, giving advice on how to best take care of your air system or how to improve the indoor air quality in somebody's home, you need to give. That is the key to success in social networking. You will not be successful if you just tweet out or put on your Facebook page about how wonderful your business is and how you have a special this month. Don't bother doing it. People don't want to hear about your 25% special this month. They want information that's going to help them. And the more you add value, the more you give, the more you will get. It's not about promoting. It's about giving. The more you give, the bigger network you will establish. It takes time. It takes effort. Like I said, don't spend the bulk of your time on social networking unless you have someone that can help you do that, or you've had success with that in the past, or it just is plain fun and interesting to you, then you can do that. But that's kind of a quick overview on how to get a little bit of success in this industry using social networking. Next thing, a website. Obviously, a website is going to cost you a little bit of money. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a website, but you really need to have a website, and it needs to be decent looking at least. It cannot look like your nephew who read something about HTML and put a site together for you. You can't. It needs to be professional looking. People expect you to have a website. I don't care if you market it. I don't care if you even put it on your business cards, although you'd be foolish not to. You need to have a website. If someone sees your van driving down the road or your truck and they remember your name but they don't know how to contact you, where are they going to go to find your business? The internet. They're going to go to Google. They're going to type in your name. If you're not there, you're missing business. You have to have a website. AirCareWeb.com is our service for our customers where you can get a website for your air duct cleaning business. It's very cost effective. It's just a few $100s to set it up, and it's less than $40 a month. What you get from that is an air duct cleaning website that's already set up for you. So what we've done is, for the past 2 years, I've been working here at AirCare getting our various websites noticed on the web. So we've put that expertise, that knowledge, that know-how to use for you, so you can sign up and instantly have a website. And it has information that we've already put in there for you. It's got pages on air duct cleaning. It's got pages on how to contact you and your company and your location, and it's got videos, it's got pictures. It's ready to go. Literally, you go to aircareweb.com, you sign up, boom, your website is available. Lots of different designs to choose from. If you don't have a website already, obviously I'm going to highly recommend that you go to aircareweb.com or give us a call and we'll tell you more about it. Regardless of if you use us or not, you need to have a website, and it needs to have relevant content about air duct cleaning on there. It shows you're a serious professional, and it gives people a chance, a way to find you. You need to have your contact information obvious on there, your phone number. What we've found that's very popular, and you can look at our website, air-careductcleaning.com. It's right there on the screen, air-careductcleaning.com. You can see what we've done and use that as a model for your website, whether you've used our services or not, our website services or not. What we've done is we've put a form on every page so that people can contact you for a price quote. What we found is that people are looking for price. We do put a general price on our frequently asked questions page, and you can see that, but we give a range. But what we want to do is we want to purposely leave off any prices on there so that they have to contact us through that form or through a phone call to get a price. We want to know, how many square feet their house is, how many air systems they have, that sort of thing. And it's been really, really successful. We've tried other things, fill out this form for this or that, free special deal or whatever. People don't want that. They just want a price. They want to know how much is it going to cost. And we get several leads a day through our website by a phone call or through that form on there, which gets emailed to us, and we're able to convert most of those leads into customers. Getting your website found. How am I going to get my website found on Google? That's a very common question that we get. So first, let me go over the Google search results briefly with you. If you've ever done a Google search or Bing or Yahoo, they're all the same, you'll find that there's two types of search results. This is very important when you're understanding on how to get your website found on the search engines. The first type is the ads. These are paid ads that you will see at the top of the search results screen and along the right-hand side of the search results screen, as you can see here. Those are paid ads that you can use to get your business on the first page of Google and other search engines instantly, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. The center section here is called the organic listings. These are listings that are served up by Google or the other search engines based on the keywords that you typed in. Obviously, the ads are also based on the keywords that you typed in. But the search results, we call those organic because they are not paid. You don't have to pay for those. And basically, Google says, okay, based on the term that you search for, air duct cleaning, San Antonio, for example, we think these 100 or however, 5,000 results, we think these are the most important, and here we've ranked them for you. At the top is the most important, and so on. Obviously, you want your website to show up there. It's free. When someone clicks on that listing there, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you can get at the top of that page, it's going to lead to lots of customers for you. We've been able to do that over the last year or two here at AirCare, and it has paid dividends for sure. So how do we do that? First, I want to talk to you about pay-per-clicks, because I believe that is the pay-per-click ads. I believe that's the way to get your business listed quickly. And if you don't already have exposure on the search engines, you want to start there because it gives you instant results. So let's go through how to get your ads up on Google. Basically, here's the way it works. You're going to sign up for a Google AdWords account. And it can look a little daunting at first. Give us a call if you need help. We can help you with it. Basically, here's what you're going to do. You're going to pick your keywords: air duct cleaning, air duct cleaners, clean air ducts, those kind of keywords. You can put all those in, and then you're going to create ads. Create several ads so you can test which ones work the best. What we found is that if you create ads with a price in it, if you advertise price, and Mary will talk about this later, you may or may not want to, but if you are a company that advertises price, what I found is that if it's a competitive price and you put that in your ads, you're going to have pretty good success with that. But basically, you want to appeal to the user. Put your feet in someone else's shoes that's going to be looking for air duct cleaning. The best advice I ever got from a marketing expert about advertising is you want to make sure that your potential customer sees themselves in your ad. Why are people going to look for air duct cleaning? Were they crawling around in the air ducts and noticed they were dirty? No, they probably started sneezing. They probably have allergies. Maybe they notice dust, things like that. Use those in your text ads, those kind of things, to appeal to a potential customer so that they click on your ad. Got allergies, got dust, air duct cleaning, blah, 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 Las Vegas, whatever, 30 years experience, click now for specials or whatever. You can look, you can go to air, here's a good thing to do. Type in air duct cleaning and then your city in Google, and just look at the ads that are there and get ideas from other competitors that have put ads up. You can certainly do that, and that's a good way to go. The nice thing about these ads when you post them is you're only going to pay when it's clicked. So, I mean, imagine how wonderful that is if the Yellow Book person comes and says, we're only going to charge you when somebody opens the Yellow Book to your page and looks at your ad. I mean, how amazing is that? That would never happen in any other media except for the Internet, which is why, of course, I'm a little biased. I'm a web guy, but which is why I love Internet advertising, especially with pay-per-clicks, because you only pay when somebody clicks on your ad, which means they're visiting your website. So it's great. What you're going to do is you've taken these keywords, you've wrote these ads, and then you're going to bid on these keywords. All that means is you're going to bid on how much you want to spend per click. Now, let's just say, for example, you want to spend, well, we'd also like to spend a few pennies per click, right? But it's too competitive to get that low. So let's say on average you want to spend $2 per click. So you put in your keywords, you put in your ads, and you tell Google you want to spend $2 per click. And then you're going to tell them how much you want to spend per day. Let's say you have a budget of $300 a month. That's $10 a day. So you tell them I want to spend $10 a day, and they will only show your ad as much as it needs to show for it to be clicked on to meet your daily budget. Once your daily budget is met, they will not show your ad anymore. It will not get clicked on. You will not get charged. So you can set your budget, whether it's $300 a month or $100 a month or $1,000 a month. You decide how much you want to spend. Google only shows your ad as much as it needs to for it to get clicked on to spend that amount. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to get leads today. So go sign up for a Google AdWords account. And once you've got it set up, then you want to do the same thing for Bing. Bing and Yahoo have joined forces on this, so you don't have to create a Yahoo one. But if you do Google and Bing, then you've got about 98% of all the searches. One of the things that you need to know is that when you're bidding on your keywords, Google will tell you if your bid is too low to show up on the first page. And that's fine if you don't have the budget for it. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you really want to show up on the first page. So, like, let's just say for AirCare, I don't know what our exact numbers are, but let's say we spend about $2 a click and we spend $300 a month. Okay, if you search for air duct cleaning Las Vegas, and you can do that right now, you'll see our ad, air-careductcleaning.com. That's our service department website. It may be at the very top, and then it may be on the side. It just depends because there's other people competing for that same spot, and it's never going to be the exact same. You might show up at the top for a search, and you may do the exact same keyword search 10 minutes later, and you'll show up on the side. It just depends. Google rotates it. They have a really complex algorithm that they have in place so that everybody gets a share of the ad space. But the higher you bid per click, the more you're going to show up at the top. That's the way it works. So if you type in that search, you'll see air-careductcleaning.com. Maybe it's at the top, maybe it's at the side. But that'll give you an example of what you can do with the pay-per-clicks. It's great because you're only paying when somebody clicks on your account. Google charges you every 4 or 5 days. You have a credit card on file with them. It's great. The nice thing about pay-per-click ads, this is across the board for any industry, plus I've learned this in my experience with the last couple years here at AirCare, they convert twice as much as organic click. So the nice thing about pay-per-click ads is when someone sees your ad and they click on it, they're twice as likely more to buy, period. Across the board, I don't care what industry you're in, that's a fact. The numbers back it up. So whether you're ranking well on Google or not, we're not number one on Google for our organic listing. So, you could say, oh, we don't need to advertise. But honestly, our best clients, our best leads, our best clicks come from the ads. And we still continue to do our ads every day, every month. And we'll continue to do so because it pays for itself. If you spend $300 a month on Google Ads and you have and it costs you $3 a click, you're getting 100 visits to your website every month. And right now we're seeing about a 10% conversion ratio. So that's 10 out of those 100 visits, 10 people contact us for air duct cleaning every month. And you could see how this is very, very, very cost effective, and you get a high return on your investment, which is why I love pay-per-click advertising. Okay, let's talk about the organic listings. How do I get my website to show up on Google without paying? Very common question, and it's not an easy answer. I'll do my best to explain. What that's called is search engine optimization. You want to optimize your website so that when somebody types in air duct cleaning Phoenix, and you're in Phoenix obviously, your website shows up at the top. Now, you don't get to decide that. Google and Bing and Yahoo ultimately decide what is the most relevant website, or the most, top 5, top 10 most relevant websites for a particular search term. You can, however, influence their decision a little bit. I mean, there's not like people or little elves, deciding which website's most important. It's mathematic algorithms, but they're based on a number of factors, and here's the factors. Number one, you want to have lots of relevant content on your website. That has to do with air duct cleaning, obviously. If you have a little 3-page website and there's like 2 little paragraphs, on the home page about how wonderful you are as an air duct cleaner, you got some work to do. You want to add several, lots of pages that all have to do with air duct cleaning. Lots of text. You don't want to just put in gibberish and stuff that doesn't make sense. You want to add value. You want to create logical text that all has to do with air duct cleaning. Go to our website as an example, air-care.cleaning.com. Use that, what you see on those pages, as an example. We rank almost number 1 for almost every website, or every search term that you can think of for air duct cleaning in Las Vegas. So you're welcome to look and steal and do what we've done. Dryer vent cleaning, all these different things that you can add to your website in the form of multiple pages, multiple paragraphs on each page is going to help. Obviously, when someone's looking for air duct cleaning, Google's going to look for those websites that have the most to do with air duct cleaning. So that's the first step. The second thing is you want to get links to your website. If Google sees that such and such a website has linked to yours, or you have 50 links to your website, then they're going to say, oh wow, other people think this is important enough to link to, we're going to make it important as well, and you'll move up the rankings there. The best links are links that have to do with air duct cleaning. For example, air-care.com. That's our website. Go to our website, click on locations, and make sure your website is listed there if you are our customer. We will list your website for free. That will help you. It will give you a link. And air-care.com has a very high profile on Google. So if you get a link from us, that's really going to help. Any other websites that have to do with air duct cleaning, if they link to yours, that's really going to help as well. So get other websites to link to yours. You can integrate your social media. If you do have Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, put your videos on YouTube. All of these things, make sure whenever you're setting up these profiles and pushing content that you include links to your website. That will also help. There's a lot of other factors, but honestly, one of the other bigger ones is time. If you have a brand new website and you just got a domain name 3 days ago and you went to aircareweb.com and set up a website, yes, it looks great, it has great content, but Google is not going to think it's very important when it's 3 days old. I'm sorry if that hurts your ego, but there's other websites out there that are 8 years old that people have been clicking on for forever, and Google's going to rank them higher. Now, our service department website is less than 2 years old, and it's ranking really well. So you don't have to be around for a decade, but give it some time. Contact me if you need help with this. I have a beginner's guide to search engine optimization checklist that you can go through either on your own or with your web person. And it'll give you several, it was like 30 or 40 different things to do to make sure that you are good to go from your search engine optimization standpoint. AirCare Web, here's another plug. We've done a lot of the basics, all the basic stuff that's needed for search engine optimization comes with your AirCare Web website. Obviously, there's a lot more you can do on your website and off your website, and that's totally up to you depending on if you have a budget for that or not. Now, search engine optimization, you can do it yourself. You can just Google SEO do-it-yourself or do-it-yourself SEO, search engine optimization. And you can find a plethora of websites out there if you want to take the time to do that. You can do that, and that's fine if you want to hire a company. Find somebody in your local area contact me here at AirCare. I can refer you to a company out in Southern California. They work nationwide. They're not cheap, but they get results. So this search engine optimization thing, there's a whole industry built on this, and there's experts all around the country, and I'm sure there's experts in your local area that also do this, and they charge a fee, but it's all about return on investment. If you can spend $500 a month, but it produces $2,000 a month in business, it probably makes sense to do that. So you can contact me here at AirCare for more information on that. Okay, let's talk about Craigslist. This is another free way that you can advertise on the internet, and it's something we do as well. Here's what I've discovered over the last few months of marketing on Craigslist. It's great for a few reasons. Number one, it's free. Number two, it works. And number three, it's really easy. So let me just show you real quick how to do it. First thing, you cannot put the same ad on Craigslist day after day after day. They will not let you repeat the same ad every day, but you can repeat the same ad every week. So what I've done is I've developed 5 ads for Craigslist, and all I did was pull the information off of my website. So go to your website, look at 5 different pages. Hopefully your site has at least 5 pages. If it's not, then get more than 5 pages and pull the content from each page and just keep that in a file, or I guess you don't even have to really take it off your site. But what you want to do is every day, and I usually do it about 10 a.m. There's no magic to that time. It's just every day at a certain amount of time, preferably in the morning though, so it doesn't get pushed down the list on Craigslist. Go to the Craigslist site for your city and go to the services section and post an ad there. Put air duct cleaning, blah, blah, blah in the ad title, and then just copy the content right from one of your pages into that Craigslist ad and then post it. And that post will show up for 30 days. But honestly, if you've ever worked with Craigslist before, you know that every time someone posts after you, yours shows up right at the top, but as soon as somebody else posts in your category, theirs shows up right above yours, so quickly you get moved down, which is why I like to post every day, so I'm near the top every single day. Again, you cannot put the same exact ad every day. They won't allow it. They have a program that says, haha, you just posted this yesterday. You can't do that. So you have to have enough difference in your ad, either text, images, or whatever, to not trick, but to bypass their little tests so that they know your ad is different, and then they'll allow it. So every single day I do this, 5 different ads. As soon as you get your ads on your website or your pages, you can post those once a day. And I post those once a day. I just checked our analytics, and 8% of our Craigslist visitors, people that visit our website from Craigslist, are converting, which means 8% of those visitors are contacting us for air duct cleaning. So it's another great, free, easy method to advertise your air duct cleaning company. Another great way to market your company with the internet, or with email in this case, is email advertising. If you don't do this, you need to at least get an email address from all your customers. You cannot just send emails to random people that you meet. It's called spam. You don't like to get it, so don't send it. That's just the ethics and the morals of the thing, but it also happens to be against the law. So don't do that. But get email addresses from your customers. Now, you're not going to email them and expect them to come have you clean their air ducts every month. But what you can do is get a list together, and then, in other words, a list of your customers, all their names and their email addresses, and collect them from here on going forward, and then sign up for a free service called MailChimp. And you'll see the address right below me on the screen. MailChimp is a free email marketing service. It's very easy to use. You upload your list, or you input or paste your list into their system, and you have an account, and you can easily market to your list and send emails so that everything is compliant with the law and everything is technically working so that it doesn't go into spam and that sort of thing. Basically, they give you a really easy interface to work with. What you want to do is you can use your list to advertise and market the different products that we sell to you so that you can sell to your customers. The most obvious one is electrostatic filters. We have a lot of odor control products and things like that that you can market to your customers, these ancillary products that add value to your customer and establish yourself as the prominent air duct cleaning, indoor air quality expert in your area. So that, yes, of course, they can buy things from you and you can make a profit, but also you're always at the top of their mind. If you send them 1 email a month, which is what I recommend. You don't want to do too much because then they'll unsubscribe and then you won't ever hear from them again. No more than 1 email a month. Just talk about, maybe there's some news in the local area that has to do with indoor air quality, or again, just gently push these products that they can purchase from you to improve the indoor air quality in your home or improve the comfort of their home, whether it's a filter or an odor control product. And then your name's always at the top of their mind, so that if a friend, neighbor, somebody else says they need a similar item or need air duct cleaning, they're going to know exactly who to refer them to, and that's you. So email marketing is a great way to do that. It's absolutely free unless you have a massive list. But I think if you have less than like 5,000 email subscribers, you can send them multiple emails a month, and it's all absolutely free with MailChimp. If you have any other questions on internet marketing, internet advertising, call me, 702-454-5515, or email me, brigotti@air-care.com, and I will be more than willing to help you. Thanks so much.
Now that we've hit all the different avenues of advertising, remember the most important thing is to track it all. Make sure that one of the first questions you ask when your phone rings is, how did they hear about you? Very, very important. You don't want to throw good money against a bad ad. Now, one thing I have not mentioned is the ad right? Is it at the right time? Is it to the right people? Those are the most 3 important things in advertising. Keep that in mind. So tracking your advertising is going to let you know what has worked and what hasn't worked. Now that we've gotten our advertising out there and your phones are ringing, how do you answer those calls? First of all, let me say whoever is answering your phone calls, whether it be yourself or someone in your office, make sure that they know how to answer the questions. One of the most irritating things that you can have when you make a phone call and ask them a question about air duct cleaning is, hold on, I'll find out. And every 5 seconds, they're saying, hold on, I'll find out. Make sure you train whoever is answering your calls how to answer those questions, whether it be pricing or procedures or whatever. Make sure that they can answer the calls and answer them intelligently. Now, what is the most dominant question when people call in is, how much will it cost? Do you really want to blurt out the answer, $500? Guess what's going to happen? They're going to say, thank you, click. You just lost that customer. So when you get a call and Mrs. Smith asks you, how much will air duct cleaning cost? You want to say, well, Mrs. Smith, I really don't know without seeing your property or seeing your home, but I can give you a range. I can maybe get a little bit closer, but until I see it, I won't know the actual cost. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your home? This will help you in determining what that cost factor is going to be. But again, you really do want to see the property before you give them a definitive cost. So at this point, after they've given you a little information about their home, you may want to say, okay, well, it's going to be somewhere between $150 and $400. Of course, you don't want to go out there and have it at $600. So you want to make sure that you can pinpoint a little bit closer to what that situation is going to be. If you're doing inspections before you actually send a crew out to do the work, then you may want to not give her a range or a price at all. You may want to just say, let me come out and take a look at it, and I will base my pricing on what I find. You may not even need air duct cleaning, Mrs. Smith. So let's be fair to both you and I'll come out and take a look at it before I even give you a price. If you don't charge for that service, they're more willing to let you do that. And you can book it based on where you're going to be in a particular part of the city. Your inspections, of course, you don't want to be going cross town 5 times a day. So planning at this point would be very good. A lot of customers will ask you, how are the ducts cleaned? This is where you have to start educating your customer. How do you perform duct cleaning? You can use, if you're using the push-pull method or you're using the contact cleaning method, describe your process briefly on what you do and how you do it. This will let them know how long it takes. It will let them know that you use one man or two men. You're going to describe your process briefly and give them an idea of how much time it takes to do duct cleaning properly. They might ask you, how soon can the job be done? This is important too, because if someone is calling you about duct cleaning, what we have found in our experience is if you tell them I can't do it until June 15th and it's May 2nd, you'll probably lost that customer. So you as a business owner will have to make a decision if you're that far booked out, whether you put in some overtime, work some Saturdays. That's a good problem to have, by the way, having too many jobs. But you sure don't want to put that customer off too long. We find that if you can do it within a 2-week period of time, they're more apt to stay with you. These questions, the answers to these questions should be tailored specifically to your customer. You don't want canned answers. You don't want to just know that, someone with a 4-supply house is going to be charged the same as someone who has 15 supplies. This is why you want your answers to be tailor fit to the customer that's on the other end of the phone. A lot of times they'll ask you about using chemicals. Beware. If they are asking this question, they may have allergies to chemicals. First of all, don't use the word chemical. Use the word cleaning solutions in your answers. They are all water-based. Chemical is a bad word. They may be afraid of chemicals. Some people have allergies to odors, and they can't even wear perfume. So they may ask you, how long does the cleaning solutions, the odors, last? Even though it dissipates after a couple hours and they won't even tell it was in there, if someone has an allergy to odors or to chemicals, they will live with it for a long time. They will smell it for a year. So be very, very careful if they're asking these questions. You want to make sure that you get your questions in also while you're on the phone. And some of them are, do you have allergies or do you have respiratory ailments? This can be used in your sales back to them, saying if all they want is debris removal, you're not going to succeed in accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish with duct cleaning if you don't have the fogging done with the disinfectant and the deodorizer. You can ask them what filters do they have, what size filters do they have. This is important because it's an easy sale for you, and we'll get into the filters a little bit later. For you to have that on your truck or be able to order that size in a reasonable time, and it's a good upsell for you when you're in the customer's home. Now that we've discussed advertising, we've discussed how to handle the phone calls, and again, if you have any questions, give me a call. I'm here to help you. I am very brief in my descriptions here because we're in a time constraint, but make sure that you know that we're always here on the other end of the line. We can help you if you have any questions of what we've discussed today. AirCare started 30 years ago, or in 1986, doing air duct cleaning. We were only one of 2 air duct cleaners here in the Las Vegas Valley. Of course, our population was a lot less. We never offered anything less than full service duct cleaning. We only did 2 jobs per day, and our average job per day was $500. Average job for those 2 jobs were $500. So our truck out there would have to bring in $800 to $1,000 for it to be profitable. When I'm going through the pricing today, that's what I'm basing it on. You have to decide how to tailor that to your needs. But $100 an hour in duct cleaning, based on how long it takes you to do a particular job, is what you should be making. That is reasonable. That is what NATCA states. Average size job can be anywhere from $400 to $1,000 depending on where you are in the country. So you have to take your time in determining how do I price this. But if you base it on $100 an hour and you base it on the time that it takes you to do your average job, you're going to win every time. Now, there was a time when we had to offer a basic service. And the reason we did is because we had these bait and switch advertisers out there claiming to do the whole house duct cleaning for $69. Now, we never went that low. You don't want to go that low. These $69 guys would go out there and they would get the job up to the $400 or $500 level that we were at. They just did it in a way when they were in front of the customer. We didn't even get a chance. So we did offer a basic service, and we offered it at a level where if we went out there and Mrs. Smith only wanted basic service done, and that, when I say basic service, I'm talking about just the debris removal, taking the registers off and taking the debris out of the duct system. It does not include the air handler. It does not include fogging. It didn't include anything extra. But we could get this done in about an hour and a half. Now, our air systems are, on average, 10, 11 supplies, 1 return. So we're dealing with very simple systems. And we priced that at $149, $169, somewhere in that area. We could actually still make profit because if you do the math, it still is about $100 an hour. We would just have to do more jobs in a day. We had to change our philosophy back to our original, which was, unless you do full service, unless you clean everything that the inside air touches, you're not doing proper air duct cleaning. If you go to the NATCA website, natca.com, their specification states air duct cleaning properly is done by doing full service. Now, you have to decide as a company what you want to do, how you want to price it. I will show you different levels of pricing, but know that we don't go out and do an air duct cleaning job unless we do full service. It's just the proper way to do it. And to tell you the truth, once you educate a consumer enough to know the difference between the two levels of service, they're more likely to do the full service and do it from a quality company that's going to do it right. So don't be afraid of only offering full service. There's 3 different ways to price air duct cleaning. You could have your menu pricing. Menu pricing is simply listing everything out on a price sheet that shows what each area of duct cleaning and what it costs. And when I say each area of duct cleaning, I mean the air handler could be $150. Each air duct could be $25 a duct or $15 a duct. And we're going to get into per opening price. I'm just saying if you're going to make a menu, you want to list every aspect of duct cleaning out individually. Now, if you're in front of a customer and they had someone say that they could do the whole house for $69, you can show them that you're at an X amount per register, and if you did the total, this is what it would come out to. To tell you the truth, if your competitor was there before you and they described how they were going to do the duct cleaning, you can win hands down because you're going to do it right and you're going to show them exactly what's needed. The second way of pricing is through package pricing. I like to use bronze, silver, gold because people can relate to it. If you have your bronze service listed as your basic service, and you have it listed at $159, that you can just show them. Bronze service is debris removal, cleaning the registers. That's all they get for that. But now you move up to the silver level, and you show them that package price, let's say it's $450, but you're including the full service. And you may want to throw in a free electrostatic air filter. As long as you've built all your costs into your job and make sure that you can make a profit at the level of that package, then you're okay. People ask me a lot of times, well, if I put $450 but they have 30 openings, well, you can put a limit on your package. You can say up to 15 openings and then put a price for each additional opening. That will work too. So most of the time the packages are for your average jobs. And a lot of times, or most of the time, your jobs will fall into that category. So keep that in mind when you're coming up with your package pricing. Silver is probably where most people are going to land. They don't want to pay too much. They don't want to pay too little. They want the best job for the best value. And that's where you want to put all your eggs, is in that middle package. The gold package would be all that was in the silver package, plus you may want to put the dryer duct cleaning down. You may want to put the outside compressor in there. You may want to show a gold package that includes a UV light. This would be the ultimate package. And we usually list this, and we do include the dryer duct cleaning, and we do include an electrostatic air filter, and it's usually around $650. Now, when I'm telling you these prices, know that I'm dealing with systems that are about 11 openings, 11 supplies, 1 return. If you're back east and you're dealing with split systems where you have a supply and a return in every room, you have to know that your price is almost going to double this. If you have to hook up to both the supply side and then the return side, your time to do that job is doubled. Therefore, this pricing has to be doubled. So, again, use us as a barometer. Do not just take me at my X amount of dollars and use that. It could be different for you. The other type of pricing is the per opening. Now, you all have seen the advertisements for $9.99 a duct or $9.99 a supply. This is another bait and switch type advertisement. There is no way you can go out on a 15-unit home, do full service for $9.99 an opening. So you can set a per opening price so that you can, when you're in front of Mrs. Smith, be able to compare apples to apples. But do it like you do your packages. Have different prices per opening for the different levels of service. For our basic service, we're at about $15 an opening. For our full service, we're at about $28 to $30 an opening. And for our deluxe, we're at about $45 to $50 an opening. Again, we're not going to add on all the extras. It's all built into this per opening charge. You're still going to get to your package pricing. You're just showing it in a different way. I give you examples of this in your handouts that you've gotten with this training. Please use this, again, as a barometer. It's very easy to price air duct cleaning. Once you do a few jobs and you've priced it, you're going to feel very, very comfortable because you're going to know what's good in your area. I don't ever want to see you lose money on a particular job because you didn't price it correctly. Make sure that you know what you're dealing with, what your competitors are charging, know what you're up against in a particular home or in your standard homes in your area so that you can price it accordingly. We have set all of our pricing into print, into a book for our sales inspector to use when he's in front of the customer. People tend to believe a price that's in print versus if it's just off the top of your head. With today's computer technology, it is not hard to come up with a sales presentation book. We have in your handouts, we give you examples of what you can put in this book. Use it. Come up with your pricing, set it in a document, put it in print, and put it in your book. What do you want in your book? You want to talk about yourself as a company. You want to educate the consumer as what duct cleaning is all about. We also have a sales presentation video that is about 2.5 minutes long that you can put onto a laptop and show your customer when you're in front of them. We tag this specifically to your with your company name and logo, telephone number, so that it's yours. It's not AirCare. It doesn't talk about AirCare. It's all about you. But it talks about the procedures. It talks about what air duct cleaning is. So it's another very good sales presentation. So now you walk into a customer, and instead of the first thing you do is bring in your air duct cleaning equipment, you would bring in your laptop and your sales presentation book, and you would present that customer with what your company's all about. This is when you would also do your inspection to make sure of what you're dealing with, so that you can come up with a legitimate price for both you and your customer. Remember, if people feel they're getting a fair service for a fair price, they're more willing to hand you over the job. Okay, let's talk about the profitability now of that air duct cleaning job. And I'm going to use the top. I'm going to use the $650 job to show you an example of how profitable air duct cleaning can be. Labor is probably your number one cost on air duct cleaning, because once you've advertised in your equipment, the chemicals and the filters for your job are very minimal cost. So your number one cost is your labor. How do you pay a technician? Technician can be paid in a few different ways. You can, if you have a two-man crew and you're paying them just per hour and you're doing all the sales yourself, you would typically pay the lead man $15 an hour and maybe your technician $10. So if we're basing our pricing on $100 an hour, your labor rate is about 25%. If you want to pay your technician to help upsell, then you may want to give him his $15 an hour plus a percentage of anything that he sells while he's in the customer's home. That percentage could be 15%, it could be 20%. It's up to you as a company on what you want to pay your technician. A lot of times, if you're using a one-man crew, you don't pay him a salary at all. You just give him a certain percentage of that job. We did this in the past, and we given our technicians 20% of the job with a guaranteed weekly amount. If we didn't give them enough jobs to do in a week, which rarely ever happened, they would get a minimum of $10 an hour for a 40-hour week, so it would be $400. Most of the time, our technicians were probably taking in $800, $900, $700, in that range. So they were making good money, and they were making 20% from $0. So if they did a $300 job, they would get 60 of that. That makes your rate on your labor down to 20% an hour, which is very, very good. Whatever you can save as a company in any of your pricing strategies or your pay strategies is good for you. But you want to make it good for the technician because you want quality work along with good customer relation. Cost of materials, all your chemicals are water soluble, so you're getting several gallons out of each concentrate. So your cost of materials and electrostatic filters could be right around 5%. So that's very low. And then, of course, you have to put in overhead into each job. The overhead is your advertising, it's your gas, it's your electricity, your phone bill. All that is going to be different for every company out there. In this example, I've used 15% as an overhead cost. So you will see that the net profit using this strategy of pricing is at about 56%. It is very, very likely that it could be 60 to 70%. Very, very good profitability for air duct cleaning. And that's what you should strive for. That's what you have to know when you're setting your pricing up, is where do I want to be profitability-wise? So I can't tell you that. You have to figure it out once you see what, is happening in your own part of the country. Let me talk a little bit about quality of service. With our advertising, we all strive for repeat and referral customers. If you do quality work at a fair price, you're going to succeed in getting to that point. We want you to get to where you can maybe cut down your advertising because you're getting so much work from your repeat and referral. Very, very good business to get to that point where you don't have to worry about advertising so much to get that new customer. You're getting them every day. The only way you're going to succeed in that is making sure that your technicians are following your guidelines as a company, that they're performing quality service, that you're doing it at a fair price. I can't stress enough that your quality of service will end up being the best thing that you could do as far as advertising goes. So keep that in mind when you're doing your training of your technicians, when you're setting your pricing, when you're driving your truck out of the yard. A dirty truck that says air duct cleaning on it, they're going to say, God, it's dirty. It doesn't take but 5 minutes to just, maybe wipe it down or wash it off. The equipment that you bring into a home. You don't want to bring somebody else's dirt into this, into Mrs. Smith's house. Wipe it down. It takes you 5 minutes. These are the little things that you can do that add quality standards to your company that make your advertising less. It will, in the long run, cost you less money by doing the little simple things for quality. Let me talk about a little bit about the products that you can add on to your job that makes each job more profitable for you. We have several products that you can use as add-ons. They all have to do with indoor air quality. You can give them free. You can add it to your gold service. All these things that you can add them on your list of menus. So keep these in mind when you're talking to Mrs. Smith. The first thing we're going to talk about is the solid odor kill. Solid odor kill is a product that we use on every job. When we're done with the cleaning and the deodorizing and the job is finished, we will put what we call ultra odor kill into the return section of the air system. Why do we do that? It is a synthetic charcoal that is in a 8-ounce container. All you have to do is place it in the return side of the system, and it helps absorb odors of that house. It lasts about 3 months. Very, very easy to use, very, very easy to open. If you put your sticker on the bottom of this container, Mrs. Smith will have to call you to have it replaced. The next product, and probably one of the most important products that you can sell to your customers and make a very, very good profit at, is the electrostatic air filters. AirCare manufactures 3 different types of air filters. You probably have received the filter sales kit with your equipment purchase, or simply call us and we'll send you one. There's 3 different types of filters, and they come in a couple varieties of each. The electrostatic air filters, we have gold, we have silver, and we have flex. The gold is available in 94 and 82%. What's the difference between 94 and 82? 94% is the best filtration they will receive with a filter. It is also restrictive, so you have a 0.12 initial resistance. Not too restrictive, but if your return or the return in Mrs. Smith's home is big enough for that filter, there is no problem in using a 94% efficient. The 82% is less efficient, but it also is less restrictive. Restriction on the 82% is only 0.08. Very much like the disposable filters that you buy in the grocery store. So there's no worry. If you have a worry about restriction, then go with the 82%. These are all available in the gold, and the only difference between the gold and the silver are the frames. The frames are, the gold is an extruded frame that is screwed at all four corners. The silver frame is one filter that's notched and bent into the frame. That is basically the only difference. They both use a polypropylene that is UV resistant, so you don't have to worry about putting UV lights in the system if the filter is going to hit it. And the filtration on both, the middle is the same. So it basically is just the frame difference between the two. Now I also mentioned the flex filter. The flex filter is for a situation where a rigid frame filter won't go in. If you have to bend, even the disposable filters that you buy at the store, if you have to bend it to get it into the system, then you cannot use a rigid frame filter. Use our flexible frame filters. They come in the 94 and the 82% also, but it is a bendable. It's a sewn frame. There is no rigid frame around it. So this is very good for those situations where you cannot get a rigid frame filter in. We also have a filter called Cool Wrap that is used for the outside condenser units. This is the unit that cools the air conditioning, or is the air conditioning cooling device that sits outside on a slab on the side of the house. This would actually protect all the vented areas of that condenser unit with a filter. This is very good in all areas of the country because you get a lot of dust and debris that everyone knows they have to sweep around the leaves or get the dust away from the slab part of it. This will protect and keep that unit cleaner. All these filters that we've talked about are very inexpensive for you, and the retail price on the gold and silver and flex are anywhere between $50 and $100. So your profit margin is immense. The Cool Wrap, you probably spend about $15 on them, and you can sell them for about $40. So this is a very good profit. I mean, you're doubling your profit. So keep all these products in mind when you're in front of Mrs. Smith or Mrs. Jones. I don't want to leave Mrs. Jones out. AirCare has a full supply of sales brochures that describe air duct cleaning. We have brochures that describe dryer vent cleaning. We have the sales presentation video for you to use that is custom tagged with your company name and address and phone number. Use these tools. These are already made and proven. You don't have to private label them, but we do have those available. Our clean air brochure that you see on the screen doesn't mention AirCare, and there is a place on the back for you to stamp your company name and address. So the whole idea here is to have sales tools for you to use that help describe duct cleaning and not describe AirCare. We have tailored our sales presentations to help you, not just to promote AirCare. Another thing that you can upsell in front of the customer are the UV lights. These are a very good source for preventing any mold and bacteria from growing around the coil. The coil is the damp part of the air system, and this is where you'd want to put a UV light in. You can buy this for as low as around $70 and sell it installed for $199. So again, it's a very easy installation process, but a very good profit margin. We have dryer vents alarms. We have our Clean Breeze, our aerosol cleaner. This is like the Glade ones you see in the grocery store. If you present this stuff to the customer, you're in front of the customer. Sales are an emotion. If you never mention any of these products to your customers, you're never going to sell any of them. But if you mention them to all of your customers, you're going to be surprised at how many you can sell. Don't be afraid to sell products. The products is what increases your profit on every job. We would all love to make all the money we can from one customer. But you're fairly priced, all the products are fair priced, and you can get your ticket from, $300 up to $400 or $500 if you sell products along with it. People do it every day. You drive into McDonald's and they upsell you. Do you want a Biggie that? Do you want fries with that Big Mac? We are conditioned as consumers we don't even think about it anymore. So don't be afraid to ask for a sale. All these products are at your disposal. They're reasonably priced, and they're reasonably priced for the customer. So keep that in mind when you're in front of Mrs. Smith. Now, we've gone through a lot of material today, and I've said it a few times. This isn't the end. You have questions? Call. We're here for you. The more profitable you are, the more profitable we are. We want you to be successful. We want you to have that repeat and referral customer come back to you. The more jobs you have, the happier you are, and the more likely you're going to be to buy from us. I'm not saying that we're out for the mighty buck. We're out for you. The end user has to win, and you're the end user. We want you to win. We're very passionate about air duct cleaning, and we know a lot about the subject. Use us. Use us as your source of information. Use us as your source of bidding a job. We're here for you. We'll help you. So I guess that's about all I can fit into this time frame, and I will be hearing from you, and I'll be talking to you soon.